We are in an environment where I don't need the soothsayer to tell me what our Supreme Court would say if this matter ever gets before it. We're in an environment where Akpabio does what he cares in the Senate and his counterpart in the House of Rep does exactly the same. We are not governed by any rules. So speaking about the House of Reps or talking about the Senate, speaking to the observance of rules and compliance with norms is a waste of time in our situation. Rules do not matter any longer. It is about the will of men. If the man sat at the top of the pyramid says that he desires a third and fourth term, between Akpabio and his brother Wase, they will give it to him. Our constitution does not matter.
Did you just say that if the president wants a
I am repeating myself without any fear of contradiction that if Bola Tinubu decides that he wants a third term, pretty much like Uncle Shege, he will submit that bill and your House of Reps and Senate will pass that bill in record time. You are seeing the beginning of the Yademization of our presidency. You are seeing the beginning of a full-blown dictatorship that is unrestrained by any law. That is the reality. The only thing that has happened is that it is crowing triumphantly in the marketplace, announcing that it is unrestrained by laws or by rules. It is not that it started today. It was always part and parcel of our governance system. Obasanjo did the same, he just did it differently. Yaradua did the same, he just did it differently. Buhari was not so refined in pushing his own in our face. And the one thing you can take for granted is that Bulaba does not care one bit what any one of the bellyachers, from the likes of me to the ones in his class who are going to feel the heat in the coming days. He doesn't care what they say or think. It's about power. And he's in control. He's the one in power. The movement of El-Rufai from APC merely signals the beginning of the political transfer season. We're 2 years away from the pretense at an election. But I am saying it, and let it be on record and let it be clear. If we don't have substantive and substantial electoral reform, Jesus Christ himself, pardon me, no blasphemy intended, could be on the ballot. I'm not going to be involved in that election. Tinubu is not a man who leaves anything to chance. I warrant that the election result in 2027 is already written, if it is going to be based on what we currently have. So maybe he'll remove Yakubu and put someone else. They'll still do exactly what he cares for them to do. So unless people are saying they are forming coalitions where they are looking to turn the Nigerian into an empowered citizen whose vote would count. If Atiku and even Satan, and in any case, El-Rufai is not Satan, he's just an odious person as far as I'm concerned. Even if El-Rufai leads a charge for electoral reform today, as much as I find this person objectionable, I will follow him in the path to changing this system. Without electoral reform, which consequentially turns the Nigerian into an empowered being who can vote for those he wants and reject those he does not want, 2027 is a waste of time.
And this picture has gone viral. It's showing an elderly woman in visible distress as President Tinubu was in that hospital there. I mean, that picture spoke 1,000 words, yes. Rufai. That yes. picture really did speak of the anguish these people are facing in Benue State. Young children. Those videos really disturbed me, Rufai, really quickly.
I mean, the picture was 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so that we can tie it all together.
Okay, read it
Correct.
So we can tie it all together.
Meanwhile, hours before the president's scheduled visit to Benue, the Lafia-Makurdi Highway, a crucial link to the state capital, became impassable due to severe flooding. Heavy rainfall caused the road to be submerged, leaving commuters and members of the presidential advance team stranded. As you can see there, the disruption raised concerns about the logistics and security of the president's visit. In the same vein, videos showing primary school pupils standing in the rain to welcome President Tinubu's convoy have sparked widespread outrage. Despite a public holiday declared by the state government to honor the president's visit, primarily to sympathize with victims of the deadly attacks in the state, the children were seen singing the national anthem by the roadside as Tinubu's motorcade passed through Makurdi. Their faces were blurred in the videos for privacy. The videos went viral on social media, drawing strong condemnation from Nigerians. Critics, including Yemi Adamalekun, Executive Director of Enough is Enough Nigeria, called it a crime to subject children to such conditions. Let's take Yemi's tweet. There she wrote on X, "This is a crime. Is there no one in Benue that can go and get those children? A bishop, an imam, parents, National Human Rights Commission? What is wrong with us? Hashtag Benue Lives Matter." Obieze Kwesili followed with a tweet. She wrote, "The saddest part is that some of these children may be from among the hundreds of families mourning their beloved ones and yet are compelled to stand in the rain and give misleaders that have shown zero care for them a rousing welcome. Things like this are why the uncaring political class of Nigeria has nothing to desensitize their bad behavior and the poor governance it produces. They believe the Nigerian citizens are conquered souls. Will it always be so? No, because there is that one factor that our politicians never add to the equation when they become carried away with the drunk on public power." I mean, Obieze Kwesili there, you know, it's just also buttresses the sort of conversation that we tried to have yesterday about reading the room. How, you know, Nigerian politicians have to really find ways to observe these sort of critical situations. When you have mourning in a state, how dare you put children out there to welcome the president? Rufai.
You can't give what you don't have. You telling a Nigerian politician to read the room in a time of disaster that he couldn't avert is like telling a palm wine tapper that he doesn't know how to tap palm wine. The truth is, you cannot give what you don't have. These palm wine tappers or these politicians only care about themselves. And I'm using that palm wine tapper in the context of an analogy. These journeymen called politicians only care about themselves and their own image. When we said it yesterday, it was based on reports that we got. We're proven right, even if they tried to still change the narrative last minute by putting mourners on the road. And Femi, I mean, you saw it now. It looked very choreographed. You know why? Because the same true mourners, when the same true mourners came out to protest those killings, what did they do? They tear gas them. Did we see it here the other day?
For what reason?
So they should have allowed the true protesters to come out and exercise their pain. But no, they put these ones on the side of the road, make them wear back, and decide they should be wailing, so that it was going to be a contravention of what they had initially planned. But they were not circumspect in their review. They still left the plan of the students there. They forgot that one. So they left the students in the rain, singing national anthem, and were waving flag.
And the motorcade didn't stop and acknowledge them.
But quickly, what they now did was last minute, they now quickly put some placards in the house of students that Benue is bleeding. So it was part of their choreographic plan.
Absolute
but
nonsense, like
they didn't even know how to backtrack. And this is part of the problem we talk about. So reading the room is not their forte. That's why I give the analogy of a palm wine tapper. It's not like you telling palm wine tapper. It's telling Nigerian politicians that read the room. It's not like you telling a palm wine tapper doesn't know how to tap palm wine. Because reading the room is not part of their forte. Emotional intelligence is not part of their forte. If emotional intelligence was part of their forte, do you think Nigerian politicians will be spending extravagantly in a country where people can't have 3 square meals? Where people are suffering.
Wasn't it a public holiday? What were the students?
So it was part of the arrangement.
A public
so that
holiday.
at the same time, they have forgotten that it was a money situation that brought the president. But at the same time, they also want to impress the president and give him a heroic welcome. So they were caught in the quandary. And that's why, you know, there's a dearth of emotional intelligence. Going further, these were the things we said yesterday. Don't turn it into a jamboree and everything. People said, oh, we were bashing them and everything. Has it not come out openly now? Do you know that the rights of those children were violated?
Yes.
Do you know that they should even press charges against whoever called those children out in the first place? And that picture speaks a million words. You know,
picture of the day.
So let me interpret what that woman's face was saying. They've come again and our problem continues. That's the smirk on her face. Oji, it's not, I feel particular about Benue. It's not today I've been working with Benue. And I'm happy that the Advanced Party was caught in that flood. In 2016, thereabouts, I think I even got a recognition by CESO Foundation about my work I did for flood victims with Benue, when we partnered with a Catholic church in 2004, where I was using my radio platform to advocate that people drop relief materials for flood victims in Benue. Benue had always had flooding. And that's why we are happy President Tinubu went out. So he's seeing it. He should also go to Niger. Because I would like President Tinubu to see the condition of the roads in Mokwa. He should also go to any part that is being inundated with crisis in the country. It will give him a clear view. You see, all the visits he goes that the governor calls him 1 or 2 days, become a commissioner. That's good. But on the other side, unannounced visit like this will give you a true perspective on what is going on in the country. Because with that already choreographed visit, you will think everything is fine. The governor will show you the happy parts and the other, but he also needs to see the parts that are not happy.
Right. All right. Well, in the same vein, following.
In all of this, you know, my greatest fear is these things will happen again. That is the major issues. Tinubu visited Benue State yesterday has not solved the problem. Yes, he visited. He could see things by himself. Lord Tinubu himself was lucky that yesterday the rain started. You saw the flood, right? Yes, at least that one is number one, to see the state of the roads in Benue State, the conditions in Benue State, that people are aggrieved. That woman picture speaks a lot. Now, they visited yesterday. Tinubu spoke with all of them, the chief community leader, the security team, NSC, chief of army, chief of defense staff, all of them yesterday. But guess what? What is it? Do we have a solution yet? Is there any guarantee that this thing will not happen again? Are they working towards it now? Is there all of them putting hands in tests together to make sure this will not happen again? That is a problem. It's going to happen again. Some Fulanis are still threatening. That one, what happened in Benue State, is just small. Can you imagine? So I want to believe that it will not happen again. And Tinubu, he visited, that chapter has closed. She has visited. He go back to his office and continue doing the job. It doesn't concern him again. Benue chapter now has closed from his table. And he has ordered the DSS, the police, chief of army, chief of defense staff. He have ordered them to go and the Benue State governor take the responsibility, go and do this, go and do that. It's finished. I pray it should not happen again before he leaves office. I pray with this command to be able to do something to put an end to this problem, not just in Benue State, across other states indeed, because this happened in Benue State. These people now, they know that, okay, for now, this period, Benue State is hot. The security everywhere. They will not go to Benue State for now. They will look for another state. That is it. They will look for another state. And now, Dele Farotimi. Yeah, everybody lost hope now. Tinubu is, even yesterday, he was there. We don't know if he actually went there for a condolence visit to commiserate with those people who lost their lives, the family, the victims, or if he was there to campaign for 2027 election. We could all see if you listen to his full speech yesterday. Do you understand? So that's a problem now. In trouble. Pray to not happen. And Dele Farotimi said, if without electoral reform, he said he's not supporting anybody. He's not going into election in 2022 because it's a waste of time and waste of energy resources. If electoral reform has not been signed into law, nobody should just go and waste time under Tinubu's government, because it's going to waste your money. So we are pushing forward, and let's see every week. Please share this video and please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy.